54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or
Man, I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. That's
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have never had a close relationship, but things escalated last month when the two boxing champions clashed on social media. What began as a disagreement over the prestigious Ring Magazine Award soon became much more personal. Both are dominant in their respective divisions, but due to the size disparity, it's unlikely their paths will cross in the ring. Nonetheless, they continue to exchange insults online. Crawford's disdain for Tank goes beyond just this recent argument. He's been harboring his feelings for a long time and is now speaking his mind.
And what champ? Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. All right, I'll welcome.
Davis, recognized for his aggressive approach and quick temper, wasn't going to let Crawford's remarks slide. He's currently preparing to defend his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach on March 1st. While his attention is on the upcoming fight, Davis is always ready for a verbal confrontation. Crawford, meanwhile, is gearing up for his much-anticipated clash with Canelo Alvarez. A bout that could solidify his legacy if he emerges victorious, despite his focus on Canelo. Crawford didn't hesitate to take a jab at Davis when the opportunity arose.
Great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
You got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch it.
Ooh. Wow. Oh, man. Gervonta said you got a glass.
In a recent interview on Cigar Talk, Terence Crawford didn't hold back his thoughts on Davis. The topic came up when the interviewer mentioned Davis's tendency to move up weight classes, only when he can handpick his opponents. When asked if the social media spat was just a clash of two competitive champions, Crawford made it clear that it was much more personal. Nah man, I just really don't like that dude. Crawford said, I don't like him. I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him. Crawford's tone left no room for ambiguity. He wasn't sugarcoating his feelings or offering any diplomatic responses.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147?
147.
I tap that chin. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't got no chin.
I already know he is.
He said no chin.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round 6.
Crawford further criticized Davis, calling him an arrogant little guy who hides behind his fame and fortune. He's got a lot of security guards around him, and he knows he's in the spotlight. Crawford said, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that. This pointed remark implied that Davis wouldn't carry the same confidence if he wasn't constantly surrounded by protection. Crawford seemed to suggest that Davis relies on his public image as a shield, offering a sharp critique of the persona Davis has crafted over time.
What he got to shield him. Like, he got a lot of security guards around him, and he he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But
despite his personal dislike for Davis's character, Crawford didn't deny his talent. He's a good fighter. I respect him as a fighter, Crawford admitted. He definitely got skills, power, and tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, the praise about Davis's boxing ability seemed almost reluctant. Crawford acknowledged it, but his overall critical stance remained unchanged. Naturally, Davis wasn't quiet in his response. He shot back, saying, he's talking like he's the best in the sport, and he's still out here begging for a big payday against Canelo. This jab suggested that Crawford is pursuing the Canelo fight for both money and validation. Davis's comment fed into the familiar boxing narrative that even top-tier fighters need a big name like Canelo to cement their legacies. But the tension between Crawford and Davis didn't stop there. Another factor escalating the rivalry is Shocker Stevenson. The 27-year-old up-and-comer is being considered a potential future opponent for Davis. Though they haven't faced off yet, anticipation is already building for their matchup. Crawford who shares a close relationship with Stevenson, made it clear that he's fully backing him.
Shakur, like I was telling Bud, it's either you or Keyshawn's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in. So awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense. He's closer.
Big brother first.
Absolutely.
We're going to take his personality and personal things out of it, Crawford said when discussing Davis. Boxing-wise, he's definitely talented. He's got that it, and he's respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur is different. This was a significant compliment from Crawford, who isn't one to easily give praise. He went on to explain why he believes Stevenson would defeat Davis. People may call him boring, people may say he can't punch, but they said the same thing about Floyd because they're defensive fighters, Crawford said, drawing a comparison between Stevenson's style and Floyd Mayweather's. It's a notable comparison considering Mayweather's nearly flawless career and his defensive boxing mastery. Crawford believes that Stevenson's defensive abilities would be crucial in neutralizing Davis's power.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else, and he knows that, Crawford said with confidence. It's a bold prediction, especially considering Davis's reputation as one of boxing's most dangerous knockout artists. Davis is known for overpowering his opponents with explosive power, but Crawford is certain that Stevenson's technical skill would frustrate him in the ring. Crawford's loyalty to Stevenson only deepens the tension between him and Davis. This rivalry isn't just about boxing, it's about pride, loyalty, and making a statement. Davis, in turn, will likely see Crawford's remarks as another challenge to his superiority. If Davis and Stevenson ever meet in the ring, the anticipation for that fight is sure to be as intense as any in recent boxing history.
Tank is gonna destroy this guy, and everybody is saying it. No, that should be like real debates, like no, this Shakur, this, that, and then not only that, now you see Shakur moving up in weight. He's filling out. He's dropping this dude.
The rivalry between Crawford and Davis is a blend of personal animosity and professional rivalry. Crawford's criticisms of Davis's arrogance and bravado go beyond typical trash talk. He appears genuinely repulsed by Davis's personality and how he carries himself. On the flip side, Davis has no problem firing back with biting remarks, painting Crawford as someone eager for recognition. It's clear this war of words isn't going to end anytime soon. Both men are too proud and competitive to back down, while Davis is focused on his upcoming title defense. He's likely paying close attention to Crawford's comments. Similarly, Crawford, with the Canelo fight looming, doesn't seem ready to let this feud fade away.
Has there been any talks with Tank's team?
They reached out, but we told them to come back with an offer. And as far as that, we ain't heard nothing since then. Me and him fighting each other, we'll seal the deal on the kings of that division.
Whether Davis and Crawford ever share a room again remains uncertain. But one thing is clear, this rivalry has already stirred up plenty of drama, and the boxing world will be keeping a close watch to see what happens next. However, it's ironic that Gervonta Tank Davis accused Terence Crawford of chasing money with the Canelo fight, when Davis himself is eyeing a massive payday from Saudi Arabia to face Devin Haney. Tank's recent comments about fighting in Saudi Arabia reveal that he's not just after boxing glory, but also luxury and status, mentioning he wants 2, 3, or 4 Ferraris, while Crawford's pursuit of the Canelo fight in Riyadh is seen as a career-defining challenge. Davis's approach appears more like a negotiation for his own fantasy shopping spree. Davis's talks with Turki Al-Sheikh, the man behind bringing mega fights to Saudi Arabia, are already sparking controversy. On a Safe Place podcast, Davis made his demands clear. They said I would fight Devin, and then they said Devin was their chosen one. Davis explained, so now they have to pay me extra because I already know what I'm going for. His message was unmistakable. If Haney is being treated as the Saudi boxing favorite, Davis isn't stepping into the ring without securing a substantial payout first.
Obviously, you and Tank, and that's something that I feel like has built up for years.
Yeah, I mean, the fight has been built up for years, and at the end of the day, if he want the fight, he could have the fight because he's the WBA fake champion. He's not he has the Mickey Mouse belt.
Davis's comments also revealed his mistrust of how boxing decisions are made. When big money and big names are involved, he practically accused Saudi organizers of rigging the situation in Haney's favor, saying, "If I don't knock him out, you're going to give the fight to him." That wasn't just a shot at Haney, it was a criticism of the entire system. It's unusual for a fighter to be so open about concerns regarding biased judging, especially when substantial paydays are at stake. What makes this even more ironic is Davis's earlier position just a short time ago. He appeared uninterested in joining the wave of fighters cashing in on the Saudi boxing boom.
Somebody asked Lomachenko.
No.
Right.
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that? Oh, Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. I need 3 now. Yeah.
Tank is certainly singing a different tune now, and his shift in attitude is almost comical. One moment he's criticizing Crawford's decision to fight in Riyadh, and the next, he's listing off luxury car demands and positioning himself for his own trip to the desert. Turkey Alashik's strategy of injecting massive amounts of money into boxing has already lured some of the sport's biggest names. Fury and Usyk's 2-fight series brought them record-breaking paydays, and Canelo's deal is reportedly enough to make anyone reconsider their boxing future. Davis clearly sees the dollar signs, but he's framing his interest as more about demanding respect than merely chasing money. However, the line between earning respect and cashing in is quickly becoming blurred in this situation. Bringing Devin Haney into the mix only adds more fuel to the fire.
If not, y'all gonna give it to him. So that's what made me like, oh yeah, I see what's going on. So now, give me 2 or 4 or 3 Ferraris. If not, ain't no point in me going over there for. Y'all got the money.
Haney and Davis have been eyeing each other for years, with fans and analysts eagerly anticipating the day they finally meet in the ring. However, Tank's comments suggest that a potential fight wouldn't just be between him and Haney, it would also be him against the entire Saudi boxing system. His criticisms of how fights are managed in Saudi Arabia seem to serve as both a negotiation tactic and a warning. He's making it clear that if the fight happens, he's walking into what he sees as hostile territory, fully aware of the stakes.
Turkey Alashik mapped out Shakur's next 3 fights, and the third one is Gervonta Davis. He must be sending not the 3 Ferraris that your boy wanted. He probably gonna send him a couple Ferrari mechanics so they can build him his own Ferrari factory.
He was being sarcastic, like he said, because, Turkey was already with Devin. He was making it seem like he was fucking.
Despite his bold talk and tough stance, Davis did offer some credit to Turkey Alashik. "I'm thankful for the money he's invested," Davis acknowledged. However, this compliment came with a caveat. He suggested that organizers need to be more knowledgeable about the sport to ensure fair matchups. This comment is likely to stir up more controversy in a sport where money often plays a major role in decision-making. Davis is essentially calling for greater transparency while also pushing for a payday large enough to buy a fleet of Ferraris.
I definitely don't want to be someone like Devin, you know what I mean? Talk all that trash and then overlook my opponent and then get knocked out.
Tank, Martin was really confident in this press conference today that not only is he going to secure a win, but that he's going to get a knockout. How much of that do you think is false confidence?
Then there's the question of whether Davis truly believes Haney is the favorite in the eyes of Saudi organizers by calling Haney their chosen one. Davis may be laying the groundwork to discredit any potential loss before the fight even takes place. It's a classic boxing tactic, undermining the legitimacy of your opponent's support system so that, regardless of the outcome, you come out looking like the hero. However, it's also a risky strategy. If Davis faces Haney in Saudi Arabia and fails to deliver the knockout he's predicting, his words could easily come back to haunt him. The boxing world has always been known for its dramatic moments, but Davis's latest remarks take the spectacle to a new level. He's not just negotiating for a fight, he's negotiating for control over his own narrative.
And I'm still a casual fan. I'm being real. So hold on. Yeah. When you look at like Devin Haney's situation when he went to go sue Ryan Garcia, is that do you? Yeah, bitch. Okay, cool. So okay.
Crawford didn't hold back when discussing Gervonta Davis's chances against Shocker Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. He boldly claimed that Tank would suffer his first loss if he faced either of them. That's a strong statement, particularly given Tank's undefeated record and knockout power. But Crawford isn't just speaking off the cuff, he's been in the ring himself and witnessed Keyshawn destroy Dennis Barrick firsthand. For Crawford, Tank's knockout power won't be enough against fighters who are as mentally tough and strategically skilled as Shocker and Keyshawn.
I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fighter. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
Keyshawn Davis sounded just as confident, even comparing a potential fight with Tank to the brutal beating Crawford handed Errol Spence Jr. last year. That's not just confidence, it's a declaration of war. Keyshawn believes he's smarter, as sharper both inside and outside the ring, asserting that Gervonta only has his one-punch knockout power to rely on. He's convinced he's already a better fighter than what the world has seen from him so far. This kind of talk places significant pressure on Gervonta to prove Keyshawn wrong and show that his power can still carry him against someone with Keyshawn's skill and mentality.
Is Keyshawn the one that can crack their Gervonta code?
Gervonta can be beat easily, man.
Oh,
yeah, we hear you say he could be beat easily. Why?
Yeah, he could be beat easily because he's just a basic type of dude with a lot of power. If you know boxing like I know boxing, you can take away that power from you and shit. You know what I'm saying, young fella?
Then there's Shaka Stevenson, who's been pursuing Tank for what feels like an eternity. He's fed up, and the way he talks makes it clear that he doesn't believe Tank ever plans to face him. In the ring, Shaka doesn't hold back, calling Tank a weird human being and stating that he doesn't respect him. If that's not fuel for a future showdown, what is? He also pointed out that Turki Alalshik could easily bankroll the fight, practically daring Tank to take the deal. The ball is now firmly in Tank's court, and Shaka knows it.
I thought he was a tremendous talent. I still think he is. And I think he'll beat any lightweight with the possible exception of Keyshawn Davis.
That's a fight we probably will never see, huh?
That's neither guy wants to fight.
Gervonta's next challenge is Lamont Roach on March 1st in Brooklyn, and everyone's watching closely to see how he performs. This fight could set the tone for what's next if Tank steamrolls Roach. The pressure will only grow for him to finally take on one of the division's top champions. And let's not forget, Vasyl Lomachenko is back in the mix. Tank's team approached Loma last year, but he was taking a break from boxing at the time. Now that Lomachenko is back, it seems like he could be Tank's next target. That fight alone would be a blockbuster event, considering Loma's slick skills and reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters. When he's at his peak,
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at 9th.
I'm telling you, you saying you going down in the 9th? You know that power carry late.
Gervonta's next challenge is Lamont Roach on March 1st in Brooklyn, and everyone's watching closely to see how he performs. This fight could set the tone for what's next if Tank steamrolls Roach. The pressure will only grow for him to finally take on one of the division's top champions. And let's not forget, Vasyl Lomachenko is back in the mix. Tank's team approached Loma last year, but he was taking a break from boxing at the time. Now that Lomachenko is back, it seems like he could be Tank's next target. That fight alone would be a blockbuster event, considering Loma's slick skills and reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters. When he's at his peak,
I think he was like 17. I wasn't that much older than him. I think we probably like 3 years older. Apart. But I feel as though he slowed down. All that partying.
However, there's another layer to all this Tank's hunger for big paydays. He openly talked about negotiating with Turki Alalshik to fight in Saudi Arabia, demanding at least for Ferraris before even considering a deal. While some might brush that off as just Tank being Tank, others see it as a reflection of how the game is shifting. Saudi Arabia's deep pockets are changing the power dynamics in boxing, and Tank is fully aware of it. He's playing hardball, but with so much money on the table, who's to say Turki won't meet his demands? The irony in all of this is hard to miss. Just a short time ago, Tank criticized Terence Crawford, accusing him of chasing money, yet here he is, publicly holding out for luxury cars and massive purses. It's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black.
People in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them.
Crawford has already proven himself by taking down Spence. to become the undisputed welterweight champ, while Tank, despite his knockouts, hasn't unified the lightweight division yet. Fans want more than just quick finishes, they want legacy. Fights. Keyshawn Davis criticized Tank's past opponents, saying they weren't mentally tough enough to last with him, and that critique will stick until Tank faces tougher competition. Fighters like Shocker, Keyshawn, or Loma have the skills and toughness to handle Tank's power. Shocker, frustrated after years of calling out Tank, is now putting the pressure on him by pointing to Turki Al-Sheikh as the key to making the fight happen in Saudi Arabia. Shocker's challenge is clear. Tank needs to either step up or keep dodging.